if done badly, if written badly, or if misunderstood, anything can be an embarrassment for a writer and a reader. I have high hopes that I can maintain the standards of delicacy, decency, and respect, as I said before, in this material, perilous as it might be to a careless exponent of prose writing. I have confidence that I can do a worthy job of writing while at the same time accepting what is most challenging, which is to try to blend nonfiction writing with intimacy. When I did Thy Neighbor's Wife, it is true, I humiliated my wife inadvertently. I didn't ever fall out of love, and I never think that either of us had a diminution of respect for one another. But it is also true, in order for me to gain the intimacy and confidence of the subjects I did write about in that book 2 books ago, Thy Neighbor's Wife, I could not avoid being a partner with the people I wish to affiliate myself with and write about with an intimacy that would convince the reader I was telling the truth. When I was a sports writer, I could sit in the press box and watch an event. But when I became very serious about prose writing and nonfiction, there was no press box. If you're going to write about people who might be deemed to be sinning, adulterous people, or flagrantly, in a minority sense, affiliated with sexual acts that are considered perverse, if you want to write about these people, you have to be of these people. You have to be willing to, as close as possible, as much as humanly possible, to be accepted as part of the, it's kind of like a tribe. You can be an anthropologist and stay apart, but you can live with people. And it might not always be comfortable. I'm not saying I was uncomfortable, but it might not always be comfortable. In the sexual world that I did dwell in when I ran massage parlors and lived in a sexually free colony in California, which is the centerpiece of the book, Thy Neighbor's Wife, there were times I was bored, times I wouldn't. You think you wouldn't be bored at an orgy, but you can be very bored at an orgy, believe me. But nevertheless, I never forgot that I was there as a writer, always in my head. Always in my head. I thought, I have a noble purpose. What is it? Well, I wanted to write well, and I wanted to write honestly. And sometimes, however, when you are married, and particularly in my case, when I was writing Thy Neighbor's Wife, I had young daughters in school. And probably it's already been said that the book was condemned. It was condemned even by, I'm sorry to say, by some writers. I thought writers would give you an out, but I didn't always have that experience. But my daughters in school were the victims of that book, if anyone was the victims. Not that they turned out to be unloving daughters, because they are still, and they were then too, but they were young and vulnerable. School students, one class with them would talk about me as if I was a very dangerous and deranged person. But I was a writer, and I think that some of the great writers that I've read have experienced the same thing when they were accused of being indecent in their work, or degenerates, even in the category of such people, the aforementioned Lawrence, Henry Miller, even in later years, such contemporaries of mine as Philip Roth and, Portnoy's Complaint, even though it was fiction. Oh, I don't know how fictional Roth ever is, but there are times when writers are the subjects of scorn. We're the Hester Prymms. We have the Scarlet Letter, some of us, for a period of time. But I think we are redeemed, maybe not always in our lifetime, but redeemed sooner or later for having practiced the craft of writing and the acquiring of knowledge that is worth passing on from generation to generation. Chroniclers of the truth, I think that is what redeems us. That's our heaven. We're sinners, but we can be redeemed and go to our particular heaven, which is having done our work as well as we possibly could at all times. That's all I have to say about that.